Three, two, one. Dr. Martin Phil.
Nice to see you again, Rashid.
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm ready.
You're okay.
Ready for this journey that keeps going.
Okay, you still got your hat on, I noticed.
Yeah, because my head was cold.
Your head was cold. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so let me see. Very, very quickly. You've got a very interesting event happening next week.
Yes, we do.
The 26th of January.
Yes, Sunday, 26th of January from 3 to 6 p.m. At the Moravian Church. I'm discussing what it is to live in a toxic city, in a toxic world that is changing faster than any of us can cope with, and how we can antidote the threat of poison that is reigning over us and raining down on us.
Okay, I noticed that the title of your lecture, if we can just hold this up, right here, Health and Healing in a Toxic City. In terms of, and I mean, I know this is London, this is the 21st century, we got a political system which is in kind of, in a state of flux. We have a media which is in a state of flux, education is breaking down, the NHS is breaking down. To all intents and purposes, London is a very toxic city, but what actions can people take?
First of all, we have to understand what it means, toxic. The word toxic comes from the Greek word that implies the arrow that is poisoned. So we are being shot constantly, moment by moment, with invisible predators. That is, things that you cannot smell, you cannot taste, you cannot see. They have now installed G5, this form of telecommunication. And this form of communication, the wavelength of it is affecting everything in our gland organ system. Also, there has been documented by the World Health Organization that in every major city, the level of plastic particles in the atmosphere is causing very serious respiratory disease. And there is no solution that is being given in traditional medicine, because the fact is that now, being alive on this planet, in a city, at this point in time, it means that whatever and however you are living, that is a disease in itself. If you have diabetes, if you have any other health problem that is affecting your heart or your brain, it must be included in a formula, in a measurement. And there is nothing in the testing that traditional medicine does that takes that accurate measurement. We are all being fit in to a system of medicine that was invented 5 years after the Second World War. And that takes nothing into account to the breakdown in the environment. The water is toxic, the air is toxic, the soil is toxic, and all these things are making their way into the food chain, and the government will not allow the information to be publicized. Let me say that this awakening happened for me when I was living in Philadelphia, when there was the first major nuclear catastrophe at 3 Mile Island on the 28th of April in 1979. And everybody where I was living was affected. And I was practicing as a natural medicine specialist. I am not a medical doctor. I am ordained as a rabbi, as a doctor, and a healer. And so I started to have people coming to me who were sick mentally and spiritually, and they were confused. They didn't know what was affected. And I had taken these measurements in my work as a healer.
Wow, so that was a really expansive answer. You took us through the history of healing and toxicity and geography, Philadelphia, 3 Mile Island. For people living in London today, 21st century, you've got this talk happening on Sunday, the 26th, toxic, healing and health in a toxic society. If people can't attend the talk, if there were just 3 really effective, basic strategies that people could incorporate into their daily routines, what would it be?
The most important thing is that you stay aware, that you're not a zombie, because the effect of all these things is that you switch off your senses. Stay awake. Don't go back to sleep. As it says in so many spiritual teachings, you have to stay awake with what you feel. Trust your feelings. If you feel it, you can heal it.
Okay, all right.
That is really fundamental.
So that's the first one. What's the second one?
Second one is understand that your mind is deceiving you. The heart is going to show you what your feelings are saying. The mind cannot go where the heart lives.
Okay.
So trust your feeling. My last name is Felt. I have always trusted my feeling. Secondly, understand that you cannot follow any diet. If you follow a diet, it is imposed. It is not individuated for your specific condition.
So what's the third thing? Point one, be awake.
Be awake. Feel what you're feeling. There are only 6 emotions. The rest are thoughts. There is happy, sad, mad, glad, angry, and afraid. Whatever you're feeling, go with that. That keeps you from being a zombie. That takes care of you to not be repressed, suppressed, compressed, oppressed, and repressed. There are those states that deny that you are a human being full of your own expression.
So, trust your feelings. Trust your feelings. Second one.
Try to be aware.
Be
aware that all food is blessed by God. The question is, who is the eater? So the magic is in the food. What is happening today is people are getting afraid to eat. They're confused what to eat. People are telling them, you don't eat bread, don't eat meat, don't eat milk, don't eat this, don't eat that. No, my dear friends, everything is blessed by the Creator. Everything is blessed by Mother Nature. And you are the one that has to choose based on what you feel, what your body is trying to speak to you about.
Okay, and the third thing is your diet, right?
Yes, the foods that you are eating. Obviously, we know that the most important thing, the key word about the diet today in the toxic city is the word enzymes. Enzymes come from a Greek word that means life-giving. The enzymes are found in all the live food, especially the raw vegetables, all of the things that we get from nature, the bitter greens that people ate in the war, like chicory, those greens, like all the green lettuce, like Swiss chard, all of those kind of things that have a bitter taste. They break down the toxins that accumulate in the stomach, accumulate in the intestine, accumulate in the liver, and leads to disease that all begins in the intestines and the gut. Our brains are connected to our animal instinct in our gut. Trust your gut instincts.
Okay. I know that you've published a couple of books going back into the 1990s. You have?
Yes, yeah? I'd like to show. This book was published in 1994 and it is now available online. You can write to me at an email address, which is very simple to remember. It is faithfullyfelt@gmail.com. We can send you a book. If you can't afford it, we can send you it by PDF, but we will send you a signed copy for 20 sterling, 20 pounds, through my email address. And you can have an online assessment that we can negotiate based on your particular economics. There's a sliding scale, so people who have no money, I do many things for free, and then people who can afford it, they pay more.
So tell us, because I understand that you took a sort of like a 20-year hiatus. So tell us about some of the people that you were working with. Obviously, in terms of confidentiality, I know you can't name certain
Sure,
names,
I can't. But I was invited to have my practice in the pharmacy that serves the royal family of England, that is John Bell and Croydon on Wigmore Street. I collaborated with the most important blood, metabolic and genetic lab that is Doctor's Laboratory on Wigmore Street. My clients would have an interview with me where I would take them through all of their family history, all their symptom questions, to deal with how they are feeling and what their sensations are, and most importantly, which is affecting everybody, a mental health questionnaire. So with that, I would receive in my analysis a total genetic picture, and then I would build a biochemical individual program. In some cases, I would on-site train with people in their home, teach them the cooking skills, and or meet with them on a daily basis, like that.
That's cool. So, Dr. Felt, we're looking forward to seeing you next Sunday
Here at the
381 Kings Road at the Moravian Close, and your talk, Health and Healing in a Toxic Society.
check out the book.
In a toxic city. And it's free to get in, right?
It's
just
free.
donations.
It's by donation
By
based on
donations.
what you feel moved to give.
Excellent. I'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you
Right
so
now.
much, Rashid, for
Thank
your
you for taking
time.
time out.
Thank you. Conversing honestly, an honest conversation. In order to speak about health, we really must begin by putting aside all the things we think we know. We must leave the massive amount of information and conditioning that is everywhere on the subject, saturating the contents with overgeneralized conclusions that do not apply substantially to any examination of an individual's life or lifestyle. We simply need to be free to be able to investigate and explore where, how, and what we really feel and think, how we experience our body, our mind, our spirit. The body is the vehicle, a vast mystery, equal and parallel to the heavens and the stars above. Can we realize simply that in spite of all the various theories, no one, and I mean no one, knows or has the angle on what health is today in the evolution of the species? We live in a moment of time when an enormous mutation and adaptation is underway everywhere in nature, and especially in man and in woman. In the age of information, there is so much misinformation that secretly, insidiously imposes itself on what you think you know. You cannot look freshly at the information. This is a form of brainwashing. So please, I really am passionately asking you to have an honest conversation, to meet people who have the same longing, the yearning to see something new and fresh, not going over to reinforce their old belief systems that have had a hold on you, dear, before now. Now we cannot have an honest conversation if you think you know. Myself, I've been studying for more than 40 years all the theories about health. And each time I meet someone as a client, I want to explore, I really want to listen and learn firsthand what their instrument is saying. I am as if a health detective, a Sherlock Holmes of sorts. There is so much in the way to see and feel together, so many ideas and belief systems imposed, like putting the cart in front of the horse. Our symptoms, our pains and sensations are strings that link internally to different glands and organs. Here, hidden in each symptom, there is a specific correspondence, as if something is being said, something is being written to you, the owner, the steward, the custodian of your body, of your mind, of your spirit. Symptoms are the language that the instrument speaks in and through. My job is translating honestly accurate what may be lost in translating the message. Symptoms are like the electrically bond conglomerations that have been repeating unheard, not deciphered in a kind of secret Morse code. I have been engaged in studying the codes. Each person is unique, authenticated, never before spoken expression of life energy. Together, we will take the veil, lift the veil, see the mask, the cloak, and demystify in a practical way to promote, create a new balance in order to experience an equilibrium in your life energy.